Hi there, this is Mike from Incrementa Unconsulting. At the leadership table today, we have a member of the Incrementa family. I'm talking with Dave Cavan, who's our sales strategist. His world is about revenue and growth. Today, his world is a little bit different. With all this uncertainty we're dealing with, sales and revenue growth isn't really happening. It's kind of dead. Customers aren't buying right now. Instead, they're pulling back and protecting themselves. And obviously, this isn't the best time for cold calling. So, Dave, what should your sales team be doing?
Well, thanks, Mike, for that intro. And this is an amazing time. We certainly haven't seen anything like this in our generation, and probably a couple of generations before. So we're in uncharted waters. The good news is everybody's in that situation. Everybody's learning, and we're learning together. I think that's been the most interesting part of the last couple of weeks, talking to clients and prospects and colleagues about how they see this time. And it's a learning experience. So let me, if I could, reframe that just a little bit. I really think that our sales teams, our sales organization in small businesses, sometimes that's the CEO and the owner who are doing the selling, are all have a specific thing they bring to your organization, to your company. And so let's reframe that statement to what's the best value we can get out of those people who are out there on the front line selling. You're absolutely right, Mike. My phone's gone dead. I haven't had a cold call from somebody selling marketing services or lead generation in 2 weeks. It's just not happening. But what we should instead be doing with our sales organizations, I think, is recognizing the deep relationships that they have built with clients and that we ask them to build, and recognizing that their value is in being able to talk with customers and listen to what they're saying about their world. One of the things I'm getting great reaction to, Mike, is asking my customers and my colleagues, what are your customers saying? What are they saying about their conversations with their customers? It's a way to spread that network out and to have a bigger conversation about with more voices and, quite frankly, more ears about what's happening. And I think the other thing I'd say is your salespeople that have listening skills are going to be your greatest asset over the next little while, because they're going to hear, they're going to understand what's going on, and they can be the voice that comes back inside your company and says, here's what we're hearing. So I really think that's where the value is, Mike.
There's a beauty with continuing the process of going out and connecting with customers on a regular basis. Many sales gurus have said for years that it's not B2C, it's not B2B, it's human to human. And the more your sales team goes out, makes connections with their customers, listens, is empathetic, does their best to provide value and help without selling, the closer they're going to create those relationships. And when it's time for things to start rebounding, that relationship will still be there.
I think that's right. And again, the big advantage that you have, that your sales team has, is the ability to go out there and do that. And it's interesting you use the phrase "go out there." I mean, when we think of sales, it's exactly what we think of, is that process where we actually go out there and talk to people. And there's a whole new set of skills that I think we're going to learn, and that is, how do we have phone conversations? How do we use tools like this one we're using to talk with people at a distance and get that feeling that somebody's actually spending the time, have the empathy, they're listening, and that it is someone that I can reach back to when things do start to turn around, and have a different conversation with them about helping me to build my business again. So yeah, it's human to human. That's fantastic. I'm going to use that. I like that.
So the other side that you're talking about is what trying to see a little bit into the future, and bring that information back. So hearing what kind of problems that they see coming down the pipeline. Could you build on that a bit more?
Absolutely. none of anybody that says they know exactly what's going on now and that they've got an answer to it. Well, I want to invest in their company. I think there's not a lot of those people out there right now. And I think that figuring out how to chart your way through what I believe is going to be a different and be a vital economy. It's going to be an economy that is no less exciting and powerful, and you want to be part of than what we've had over the last decade or so. But things are going to be different, and understanding how that happens is going to come from things that we can't see right now. And if I can talk to my clients, and again, one of the big things that's resonated, I find, over the last week, where we've really got on the phone and talked to people, is what's going on with your clients, and what do they say about how they're dealing with the situation, trying to take it that next generation, that next concentric circle away, to get a bigger picture of the world and how people are seeing things happen. And if you can start to build knowledge around, and your salespeople can be part of that knowledge building around what is going to really resonate with the consumer, with businesses. What are we actually going to be making and selling? What kind of services are going to be important to reboot companies? The more generations away from your insular knowledge to your customers' knowledge and their customers' knowledge, the better you're going to be. And quite frankly, your customers are going to get, I'm getting feedback like, wow, that's a great idea. We should be out there doing that and asking those questions. You're already adding value by just suggesting to them that they should be doing that. And I've had that comment back to me several times as I've talked to people this week. So learn from what people are saying, and listen and listen to, ask for information as far away from the center of your business as you can get it right now.
And that's incredibly important. One of the valuable strategic things that companies are going to have to do as they start to stabilize is to reevaluate their competitive landscape, what the needs of their consumers are, and develop a new attribute map for their differentiators. Mm-hmm. And what you're talking about is the input for that, and that's fantastic. Before we sign off here, Dave, if there's one thing that people should take away from this call, what would it be?
Listen. Listen to what your customers are saying and evaluate how that affects your business. This is a time to listen. I wrote down before this thing, there's basically 3 things you need to do to move forward. Listen, listen, and listen. That will be seen as support, and it will add value to what you know and help you to change your company and your strategy and your plan going forward.
Beautiful. Thank you so very much for your time, Dave.
Thanks, Mike. It's always good.